Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Luigi's Mansion. We have finally arrived back up on the third floor because at the end of the last episode we of course grabbed a key that sent us all the way back, all the way from the basement back up here. But now that we have the lights turned back on by pressing that breaker switch clear down in the breaker room, we can now clear up some rooms that we weren't able to do, of course, before when we were first up here on the third floor. The first one being this room right here, which is, of course, the telephone room. This is where we, of course, got the message of regarding, what we had to do in order to turn the lights back on by going back down to the basement and pressing the breaker switch. But now that that is done, we can capture the ghosts that lie up in this room. So yes, as you can see, we have the return of the bone ghosts. So these guys are kind of just really hidden in these chests here. You just want to make sure you open them because you will not be able to capture these guys until you trigger that by, of course, tapping on those chests. There's only 2 of them, not too bad. So we didn't have that really a lot to do in this room. Unfortunately, I kind of like this room. It's not one of my favorite rooms, but I like the little mystery behind the telephones when you first arrive in this room. But of course, we have another boo to capture, and this time it is going to be Boomerang. Now, this one I have to say is probably one of the best names of the boos. It just kind of fits. Especially knowing that the boos kind of go back and forth in between rooms when they go through the walls, like this guy just did just now. So Boomerang is a pretty fitting name, if you ask me. And it looks like we have a decoy. I think this is just a decoy. Yep, so we got the boo ball. I'm not going to really worry about that. But if we open this treasure chest, as you can see, there is no key inside of it. We have, of course, a ton of money here to collect. So we'll go ahead and vacuum up all of these gold coins as well as these bills. That way we can, of course, add to our total of money. Gotta love money in this game. I mean, you gotta love money in general, I guess. But in this game, it is very, very cool to find some. But now that we have cleared out the telephone room, there's only one place we can go right now. And even though we didn't get a key for it, we can actually go through this door right here. Just want to kind of sweep out the rest of this room before unlocking the door. And as you can see, we have now entered a new room. So this is actually the clockwork room. And we have a little bit of a mystery here. As you can see, there are 3 soldier-looking ghosts. So let's go ahead and read their hearts. Hey, stop looking at me. That guy is a little self-conscious up here, it appears. See what the green one has to say. The valve. The valve. That is actually a foreshadowing moment there. I'll kind of explain what he's talking about here in a minute. And this one is just going to squeak at us. So as you can see, there are 3 soldiers here. These are clearly the next portrait ghosts that we are going to be capturing in the game. However, in order to trigger them, we have to activate these little, essentially these little clocks that play sounds. They're kind of like, old-fashioned clocks that have like the cuckoo thing that pops out of them or whatever. But once you hit all 3 of those clocks, you will now be allowed to capture the soldier ghosts. So these are the toy soldiers. So with these ghosts, this is the one and only time in the game where you are actually required to capture 3 ghosts that will count as a single portrait ghost. For these guys, you only want to worry about the blue one when it comes to trying for a golden frame. That is because he's the only one that drops pearl. So yeah, so kind of similar to how the fight with Henry and Orville was, where only one of them really mattered for the golden frame. For this one, it is going to be the blue soldier, since I guess he was the one in the middle and I guess is like the captain or like the general of these guys. But something that is interesting is not only do you have essentially unlimited chances to catch the other 2 without it mattering for your ranking here. There's actually a few different tricks you can use in this fight. So I went ahead and saved before coming back up here, but if you actually happen to catch both of the green and the pink soldiers before, of course, touching the blue soldier, what I believe you can do is actually leave the room, go back and save, and come back in, and you only have to worry about the blue one. I think that's the only instance of this happening in the game where if you have more than one portrait ghost to capture at a time, I do believe that you have to capture them both, or all of them all at once. But with this fight, it's not like that at all. You can actually capture the pink and green, go back down and save, and then come back up. That way you can make sure that you essentially get a golden frame by capturing the blue one by sucking down at least 90 of its HP. So that is something that is very interesting and very important, especially if you are going for the 100% criteria, which of course requires getting a golden frame on all the portrait ghosts. But now that we have pink and green done, it is time to take on the leader, and it is blue toy soldier. So We're gonna see what we can do here. He is running like crazy from us. These guys are pretty simple, especially the blue one here. Again, the key is to take care of pink and green first, and then you can worry about blue. That way you're not getting hit and bumped all around as you're trying to capture him. So one thing I actually wanted to show is I actually came into this room. That was actually not my first attempt, and I came into this room one other time when I went to go ahead and read the hearts of the soldiers. And as you can see, the blue one there is kind of stuck out in the center of the room. I think that was kind of a glitch. I have personally never seen this happen in the game. I just thought that was kind of weird. He's normally standing a little bit back a ways closer to that little clock house thing. So I thought that was kind of weird. So now that we have captured the toy soldiers and got ourselves another golden frame, before we move on, of course, we want to search for this boo that's in this room. And I think we should find 2 of them because I do believe Boomerang came into this room. So there should be 2 boos for us to find in here. Let's see what we can unravel here. And I think he's going to be in one of these clocks. Ah, here he is. And this is a Boomerang. Very nice. So we have, we got 2 in 1. And we got 6 o'clock boos, which is kind of a weird name. I'm not even sure that's really an official name. But as you can see, we are now sucking up 2 at a time. Very nice. I don't think I've ever had that happen where 2 boos appear at once. Is that a glitch? Because I don't think I've ever seen that in this game. Didn't even really know that was possible. I guess if they're both in the same room, this one's just going to be a decoy, obviously. There's no way there's a 3rd boo in here. But yeah, I guess if there's 2 boos in a room and you happen to trigger both of their hiding spots at once, you can, I guess, capture them both at the same time. I don't think I've ever done that, so kind of interesting there. But we'll go back out into the hallway, and wow, look at that. There's 2 boos stacked on top of each other. That's a sight I have never seen in this game, and look at that. That's kind of weird. I have never seen that. Anybody else that has had that happen to them, leave it in the comments, because I never have I ever seen anything like that in this game. So that's kind of cool. I guess that does happen. I guess if you, again, do have 2 boos in the same room, or maybe more than 1. I would be very interested to see if anybody had more than 2 at a time. But that's kind of cool. But anyways, they both have 300 HP each, so they're going to take a little bit of time to capture. And we got this guy down quite a ways before he went in there. Let's see if we can finish him off in this other room. Just want to kind of search a little bit more of this room, just in case I missed any valuables. There's still a something triggering our boo radar. I'm sure this is just the decoy, though. Again, I'd be very surprised if there was actually a 3rd boo in here. I don't think that's possible. And it was just a decoy, like I thought. So we'll go back into the telephone room. And it looks like our friend 6 o'clock boos has indeed decided to hide in one of these objects in the room. But yeah, 6 o'clock boos, that's kind of a weird name. I don't really know how they, again, I don't know. The names of the boos in this game are kind of weird, and I don't know why they decided to do that. Oh, Booscaster. Okay, I guess I didn't read that right. But he's gonna go down right now, so we're gonna take him down. Of course, he went through the hallway there. 109 HP. We have over half of his HP done. Looks like he's going to play a little bit of a game of tag, of wall tag here, whatever you want to call it, where they bounce back and forth between rooms. I hate it. I have to cut a little bit of this out, but I think we might actually have him maybe 1 or 2 more attempts here. He's down to 70. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Don't go in there. Don't go in there. Darn it. All right, so I finally captured good old Booscaster there. Took a little bit of time, so I just wanted to cut some of that out. Very nice. We'll add him to the collection, and that only brings us down to, what, 12 more boos left to find? So we are getting very, very close to the end of our collectible hunt. Very nice. And as you can see, look at all the portrait ghosts we have, man. This is insane. This is like, wow, 4 more left to find. That is insane. Again, a lot of these ghosts are not hard to capture. There are definitely a few of them that are, though. I mean, we've already seen that, but the fact that I've gotten a golden frame on every single portrait ghost up until this point is amazing, because I've actually never done that before. This is the first time I'm actually attempting all golden frames of the portrait ghosts in the GameCube version, so very nice. Yeah, nothing left to do really in the clockwork room. If we look at our map, as you can see, there is no door to progress in here. So what we want to do is actually come into this little area here inside this clock house. We will be lifted up to a new area. And this is the rooftop of the mansion. Yeah, so this is actually one of the areas that I never thought you would ever get the chance to explore in this game, but it makes sense because it does show up on your Game Boy Horror in the map section. So it only makes sense that we will have a little bit of ghost hunting to do up here. But as you can see, we have a nice little party of Shy Guy ghosts. We're going to kind of crash their party by sucking up their mask and making their lives as miserable as possible. And of course, they're going to use the little pitchforks established in the side there. And that has to hurt. I can't imagine Luigi getting stabbed by a pitchfork by one of these guys is anything but painful as hell. So, but anyways, we're going to go ahead and just take care of the rest of these guys. And luckily, again, they only have 20 HP. Not too big of a deal to handle that. We've done way worse. So we're going to go ahead and clean up house a little bit up here on the roof. So yeah, very cool. I love the fact that you're able to explore the roof of the mansion. And again, it just kind of adds another layer to this game where, you know, you get a lot of exploration in this game that you are able to do where they still make the game feel very much like you're just kind of immersed in this entire ghost hunt where you're going from, you know, one room to the next. And then all of a sudden you're on the roof and you have a lot more, even more stuff to explore up here because we're actually not even done once we capture these Shy Guy ghosts up here. So very cool indeed. And I love the fact that they go that extra mile with this game where it just feels very endless when it comes to the exploration and kind of the wandering around and as far as your ghost hunting goes in the mansion. So very nice. But it looks like we just have one more Shy Guy ghost to take care of as he tries to poke us around this bonfire here. But he didn't do enough because he goes into the Poltergust 3000. As you can see, we have some more ghosts that are now triggered once we take care of the Shy Guys. We have some ice elemental ghosts here, and luckily we have a fire nice and warm there for us, so that way we can go ahead and suck up some of those embers in order to gain more fire element in our Poltergust 3000. And that will do very nicely for weakening the ice ghosts, even though they are kicking my ass left and right here. Very, very bad. Sorry for the language, but man, these guys can get kind of annoying because they punch the crap out of you when you're not expecting it. So, but again, only 20 HP, not too big of a deal. Suck him up, and we have cleared the roof. So the roof itself even gets lit up. Very cool. I'm not sure how that exactly works. I don't really see any lights up here, but as you can see, yeah, it is definitely an area of the map or of the mansion that we do have to clear out still. So we did do that. Very nice. Get a beautiful view of the creepy night sky out here. You know, GameCube pixelated sky, but it's okay. It still looks freaking awesome. Again, this game came out in 2001. This looked freaking amazing during that time. I don't care who you are or how you feel about this game, you can't deny that. But anyways, all we can do right now is go up this ladder, get our treasure chest, because we are rewarded for doing some ghost hunting up here. Nice shot of the moon in the background. I love that as we get our key. And that is going to unlock another door down on the 3rd floor. So we need to go ahead and make our way over that way in just a little bit here. But there's one more thing we can actually do since we are up here. Again, just want to get a nice little view of that sky. I just love how it's just so gloomy looking, and especially for like a Mario game. Like, I don't know if there was a Mario game that kind of went this dark with its graphics and its story, you know, overall story and just overall theme of the game. It's just so dark. So anyways, as you can see, there is nothing left to do up here. So you think. But there is another ladder that we can climb up. So let's go ahead and climb up here. Across this little creepy looking plank, sending us down into darkness. This is the sealed room. So that chimney actually led us down into the 2nd floor. And if you remember that door that was boarded up when we were first scoping out the 2nd floor, well, guess where that leads? Into this room right here. As you can see, it's kind of laid out in a similar way as the hidden room where the first treasure room was back next to the butler's room. But if you open up this chest right here, you will find the final Speedy Spirit of the game. And he is actually going to drop the final green colored stone. So very nice. We just completed 2 collectibles in one shot there. Very cool. We'll go ahead and add that green stone to the collection. And that is it for green stones. Very cool. That's crazy to think, but we only have 1 more red stone and then 2 more blue stones to find. And then of course we have some more diamonds to pick up as well. All right, so I actually wanted to actually exit this room and then re-enter it because there's something else for us to find as well. And it is this, the golden mouse that only spawns at a 20% chance in this room. It is very, very hard to do to get this mouse, because if it does not spawn, the only way to leave and re-enter is there's a mirror over there in the right corner. I actually didn't show it off earlier, but that is the only way you can actually get out of this room. And then, of course, to get all the way back up here, you have to go all the way back up to the roof, fall down that chimney because you cannot go through that boarded up door on the second floor. So yeah, it is a pain in the butt to even have a chance at capturing that golden mouse. This actually took me many tries, and I just, obviously didn't want to show all those failures until we got it to spawn. But we finally did. Probably attempt number 10 or 11, but we finally did it. So very nice. Yeah, that is by far the hardest golden mouse in the game, unless you just happen to get lucky and it spawns like the first or second time you enter this room. That's a pain in the butt right there, I have to say. But we did it, and that was actually the final golden mouse as well. So we have all 10 golden mice. Very cool, and we are just moving right along here. So all there is left to do in here is, of course, as you know, the room is still darkened, so we do have to find some ghosts in here. But first we're going to pick up some nice money from some of these treasure chests before we trigger some of the ghosts, because there actually are some ghosts hiding in some of the chests we haven't opened yet. Just want to make sure I get all my valuables here in one go here before we trigger the ghosts. That way they are not harassing us as we are trying to pick up our coins. Yeah, right there, that little towel thing there that you can suck up is where that mirror is located. We will, of course, be using that again to get out of here, but we want to make sure we clear the room because we still are not done in here yet. So we have actually blew out all the candles. That doesn't do anything. And I believe there's only one, is it one or two that's left to trigger the ghost? I know that one in the middle does. See what these pictures are about. It's a picture, but I wouldn't call it art. Man, Luigi is such an art critic. He's insane. Nice little picture of some horsies there. Opening this chest gives us access to a world of hurt, because we have like 5 ghosts that spawn out of it all at once. And not only do we have these freaking annoying blue ghosts that are so annoying, I cannot stand them, but we have those awesome guys that come out of the ceilings to deal with as well, that they are throwing bombs at us. Very nice indeed. Throw essentially each of the basic ghosts at one of each of those basic ghosts at you all at once in this room. So very cool. That we get to deal with them all at once, because they're just freaking so amazing to be around and so awesome to have them punch us all around and everything like that. And so it's so fun to have them punch the crap out of us as we're trying to suck them up in a vacuum. It's so cool. But we finally got them all. Not too bad. Again, not too big of a deal. It's just kind of annoying when they throw so many at you at once. It reminds me of the blackout section. I'm already getting PTSD from it. But our reward is another key, and as you can see, we have opened up something else on the second floor. So we have the third floor to go to, and we have a room on the second floor. So the first thing we are going to do is actually tackle what's out there on the second floor. Just want to get a little view of this door that is sealed up. So not only is it sealed up from the outside, but it is also sealed up from the inside. Kind of interesting. I don't know how that was even possible, since I don't know if anybody even knew. Whoever sealed up that door, like, how do they know how to get out of here? You know what I mean? Like, if they sealed it up on the inside, how the hell did they get back outside to seal up the other side? I don't know. That doesn't really make much sense to me, but it's okay because we'll just go with it. So the only exit we have is this mirror right here in the corner. We'll go ahead and take that to warp back to the entrance area.
Oh, that blackout was scary. I'm so glad the lights came back on.
Yeah, Toad's saying basically the same thing he said earlier. We'll go ahead and take that opportunity to save our progress, because we do not want to redo any of that last portion there, because that golden mouse, man, that took a lot out of me trying to get that thing to spawn. Didn't show it on recording, but it was very exhausting. As you know, we have a room to enter now on the second floor, so we're going to go ahead and head back up there to see what lies in that room. Now that we are back on the second floor, we just have to go ahead and enter that room. There's that sealed room right there. So kind of annoying. They don't let you just walk out the door when you're done with it. Like, you know, they could have allowed you to burn the wood that was blocking the door or whatever with your fire, but it is what it is. It is now time to enter a new room on the second floor. This is actually the last 2 rooms that we need to clear on this floor. This room is the sitting room. Very basic. We just have a couple of chairs here, a little bit of tea, looks like on the table. Kind of calm and peaceful, a little dark still, but as you know, we have some work to do in here. This little pot has some water in it, so we can go ahead and suck that up because we will be needing that very, very soon. I don't remember if there's fire elemental ghosts in this room. I think there are. But if we water this plant, we will get a golden bar. Not too bad. No colored stones out of it, but it's okay because it is very essential to water any plants that we see. Well, as you can see, there's actually a fire element in here as well. But as you can see, wow, we have another freaking herd of these orange ghosts. Holy cow, man. These guys are just livid. Like, they are not happy that we are clearing the heck out of this mansion and lighting up all these rooms. Apparently because they have taken matters into their own ghost hands and they have decided to gang up on me by spawning in fives, apparently. So, but looks like we have a fire elemental ghost right here. So we need actually a couple of them. So we need to make sure we grab our water element. That way we can take these guys out with no problem, allowing us to weaken them with the water. And that'll do it for the sitting room. So not too bad. Nothing too crazy in here other than those a couple of elements that we do need to grab. And of course a boo to find. So let's go ahead and see if we can seek it out. Do a little vacuuming job here. And we have Bolivia. Kind of cute little name there. She only has 100 HP. I'm assuming she's a girl. And it looks like she's going to make us do a little bit of running around the mansion. So if we can get her out here in the hallway, that would actually be kind of cool. Because I don't know if I've ever captured a boo in a hallway before. But she's only down to 50. So we have about half of her HP done. So we just need to finish her off a little bit. And that kind of sounded wrong. But it looks like we are going to capture her in the hallway. It's 20 HP. Come on. And there it is. Very nice. Another one down. 11 more to go.
Fantastic. Way to go, Luigi.
All right, so we'll go ahead and send EGAD the boo data that we just received. And that is one more marked off the list. As you can see, the sitting room is done. So we have one more room to clear on the second floor. Before going into this room, make sure you have the water element in your Poltergust 3000. But now it is time to enter. And what do we have here?